Introduce yourself. My good name is Faith Moraa. I'm a storyteller. I'm a sports journalist, and I'm very passionate about sports. And not just I use my God-given talent of advocacy, being so vocal to speak matters on women's sports, and that has been my journey. And for me, sports is a way of expressing myself. Sports is a way of me going back home. Sports is a way of me getting my voice heard out there. Sports is my livelihood, so before all these titles and roles and everything, I was just a girl who was very active in school, right from primary, just an active kid, running, just naming sport. I would move from one sport to another, just curious to understand how does this sport work, what attracts someone, an athlete, to just move from the level of just being a raw talent to a level of an elite athlete. So what I realized, there was a gap of women within sports, not just as athletes, but also in the leadership roles. And I was like, what's happening? We need to get into these spaces. And from everyone in my village, where I even started the sports, they were like, you're just a young lady getting into this very male-dominated space. Because I remember there's a time I participated in Chapadimba, and I got a lot of resistance, not just from my fellow teammates, but from even the club I was coaching. That's a story for another video, So it's been in my head to just do it for the girls, do it for the women. And why not, if it's not coming from me? So I got that urge to see, what can I do? What I ended up covering the women's football. That's why I ended getting the interest to move from one sport to another and understand what are the dynamics of sports in the country, Kenya, what is happening in Africa. And I'm now a member of the AWISI, the African Women in Sports, and I get to see the African continent from a different perspective. I get to interact with these women from the federations to another federation to understand what's happening in handball, what's happening in volleyball, what's happening in these beach soccer games, what is happening in the Paralympics games for the disability, what is currently happening, how can I help? And that's how I started interviewing players, going from team to team in Kenya, participating with these ladies, getting to know what is really drawing us behind, what is happening in these football clubs that we are not doing in the country Kenya, what is happening outside that we are not doing, and what are the kind of dynamics do we have, like what is really happening. So moving from club to club helped me to interact with these players from an individual level, to get to understand what challenges they go through. It's never enough telling their stories. I ended up co-founding an organization, Wicheza, with a friend of mine who we have same interest in supporting athletes. And through Wicheza, we have so far reached out to two international female footballers, that is Ese Akida and Marjorie Nekesa. We helped them during the tournaments in the country. We went, supported the girls with sports bras, and as well the Santa towels. And just beyond that, we help them manage the tournament, be there covering as well, like in every aspect of the game. As long as we are visible there and we can help, using what we have, we help. And I've come to realize it's never enough. And all we need is like collaborating, partnering, and having people with the same interests on board, so that we can always better this game. At Football KE, as the head of women's football, getting to talk about the women's football in every Tuesday space where we interact, talk about the game, getting to have more people understand what is women's football, what do they go through. Having such a space, it's been very important, and it has helped us articulate what is happening in the women's football in the country. And then moving from football to basketball, understanding what are the dynamics, what are these athletes in different sports going through. And same problems, same challenges that athletes face in the football are certainly also they face in basketball. It's just that they have in very different sports. And moving forward, I've always wanted to do something very big, very impactful. The challenges still are also bigger when you're going bigger, but that will definitely not stop me. My aim is to learn, get into class, get to understand what are these dynamics, especially in leadership. What is happening in leadership? How can I get into these spaces and speak for these women and mobilize resources for these women who are really passionate about the sports they want to play, but because of financial reasons or because of lack of equipment, they can't play the sports they would love to play. I really do love to talk, but for now, I would love to end this video here, and I appreciate everyone who's listening to me. And if this is the first time you're coming across my content, if this is the first time you're watching me, please subscribe and reach out. There are many ways we can do this if you're so passionate about it. And yeah, bye bye guys. Bye.